A solo run with Abra? How bad could it be? This is gonna suck. Hello everyone, my name is Super123 and today I'm going to try and beat Pokemon Fire Red with only an Abra. Now looking into Abra's moveset, I'm sure you can see why this is going to be one of my hardest challenges yet. It starts off very decent in speed and special attack, but defense and attack, what we need for the first gym, are severely lacking. At least we get some moves from TMs that we don't get until after the first gym, and even then the TM selection is not very good apart from Psychic. Leave a like and a comment on any challenges you'd like to see me try in the future, and please for the love of God make them easier than this one. The rules of the challenge are on screen and in the description, but without further ado, let's get into the challenge. Starting the game, I replace Charmander with Abra so that the rival will pick Squirtle, which will eventually become a Blastoise with a really high special defense stat and a super effective move in Bite. And of course we lose the first rival battle because we only have Teleport. Training with Teleport is going to be a very tedious process, having to waste all 20 PP of Teleport, which immediately ends a battle, and then having to use Struggle on the wild Pokemon. But that move goes off of Abra's really poor attack stat, and also will do recoil damage to Abra. We have very limited money at this stage as well, so stocking up on potions is also pretty much impossible, which means we have a finite amount of items, so having to go back and forth to the Pokemon Center, then having to waste the PP of Teleport, is just mind-numbing beyond belief. Losing to the likes of Wild Weedles isn't going to make this any easier. So I better go over the nickname I chose, seeing as I have some time, and I called Abra Trooper. This is because my username is Super, and Super Trooper is an ABBA song, ABBA sounding really close to Abra, and when I stream, some people write Super Trooper in the chat. I'm also going to have to be a real trooper to get past this first section of this bloody challenge. Running around Viridian Forest made me realise how much the trees look like they're flexing their muscles. After training up Abra a few levels, I decided to move west of Viridian to train on attack EVs, seeing as Abra has 0 attacking prowess in the first place, and I need that to beat a Geodude and an Onix, who both have monster defenses. Getting defense EVs off the wild Metapod and Kakuna will also help because Abra has no defense either. I eventually ran out of potions and money to get more potions, so I had to save fairly often so that I didn't have to keep going back to the Pokemon Center.
I've got nothing left!
I can't even beat the first gym trainer after training for what feels like a million years. And since I have 0 money, I keep having to go back to the teleport reduction methods after failing each battle. I tried to battle Brock at level 22, but sadly Abra fainted due to struggle recoil after getting to the Onix. As you can see, we are relying so much on critical hits and Brock's team missing their moves. I don't even have any money left to give Brock after the end of the battle, so I just have to keep leaving him IOU notes. I lost an attempt with the Onix in Red Health after that, but soon after, at level 23, we managed to finally win the badge. But that was only after we just about got past the Geodude, and Onix missed 3 Rock Tombs. That was painful, but we aren't out of the woods yet. We have a few more struggles on the horizon. Pun definitely intended. There are a few mandatory trainers that we have to struggle past, but I can at least afford to get a few more potions now and finally get to Mount Moon and get an attacking move with the Thief TM, which is great as Dark type moves go off a special attack in this gen, which Abra has in abundance, and it's also going to be good against the next gym also. This is the only reason we can get through Mount Moon as well, because trying to battle the last trainer with 3 Pokemon with only struggle would not work in any universe. I also picked up the Helix fossil, so that you can leave a comment for the funny meme. I also went to see the move tutor outside of Mount Moon that can teach Abra Mega Punch. It's not a good move for a special attacker, but it at least means we have another attack on our arsenal, which means we can get rid of Teleport sooner, which I am so excited for, because I hate that move, it has traumatized me. Since we do have a Dark type move, I decided to battle Misty first. Staryu is a free hit leading on to the Starmie, which did land some strong Swifts, but our super effective Thief got us the win, and that was a lot easier than Brock was, that's for sure. But I can't put it off any longer. I was afraid of the rival battle, but we need to actually battle him to carry on and get the next badge. This was a tough battle due to his Pokemon mainly specialising in physical attacks, and Abra having glass bones and paper skin.
Every morning I break my legs, and every afternoon I break my arms.
We eventually get past him and the Nugget Bridge and do a bit of sneaky to get the secret power TM. It's not the best move, but it gives us another option for now. I also have some random Farfetch'd for HM moves, but ignore him, he's not going to be used, and let's go to the SS Anne, where we can have another, even harder rival battle. After spending ages training on the ship and attempting this battle many times, only getting past with insane luck on our end, it finally allows me to get the cut HM and access the third gym. Fighting the first trainer in the gym wasn't really a good idea because of the steel types, which resist dark type moves and normal type moves, so I'll just avoid them for now. Battling Surge himself is just as bad as those battles because of the added spice of the paralysis. It doesn't take as many tries as the rival battle since the main bulk of his team is swept aside. We just have to get lucky against the Raichu with paralysis via synchronize and hitting through its evasion. This section did take me a very long time, luckily not as long as the first section, but after getting the TM for Shockwave, we can teach it over teleport, and I have a feeling that a lot of the main struggles are going to be over for now. As I say that, I just remember that we have to get past various rock and ground types in a gauntlet style in Rock Tunnel. Absolutely brilliant. While I go through there, why not I just plug my socials, so if you're enjoying the video, go and follow them, and if you're not enjoying the video, what are you still doing here? Anyway, I'm just Supri123 on Twitter, that's about it. And while you're there, retweet and like this video so we can get a lot more viewers and it will be very fun, because big number go up, make very happy. And as I'm sure you can tell by my voice, I am British, so the first thing I did when exiting Rock Tunnel was to go and get a cup of Rosie Lee in Celadon. Nuff said. This means I can get access to Saffron City and meet the most wonderful man in existence, Mr. Psychic. I can get Abra's most powerful TM move, give him a big fat kiss and a £15 Roblox voucher as a thank you, and saw the region not as a challenge, but as mine to conquer with my mind-controlling demon! Getting past Giovanni in the Rocket Hideout and the rival in Lavender Town are now trivialized, and I will set my sights on the Poison Gym, ready to Greta Thunberg my way through this pile of pollution. Despite having a level advantage, we ended this whole man's career. Easy peasy. Now let's carry on with the Gym Leader Gauntlet. Well, before the Gauntlet, I had to get the HMs from the Safari Zone, and now the world is my oyster. But I wanted to get some more levels in Silphco before the next boss battles, and there's a lot of trainers here that I battled before battling the rival, somehow winning on my first try, even though I was at half health for basically the entire battle. It did help that Blastoise, the main threat, just wanted to use Protect. The rest of his team was absolute garbage, so let's move on and fight Giovanni, who's normally easier, right? Haha, I lost this battle. His Kangaskhan is such a strong Pokemon in relation to us, and we really didn't do much to it. At least I beat him on the next try and saved the City of Saffron. Now we can go Psychic v Psychic, Sabrina v Super, Abra vs Kadabra and Alakazam, and a few more alliteration puns that I can't really think of. But I gave Abra some black glasses to give it some style points in this bout, and easily get the victory by using Thief. After we get the badge, we also get the TM for Calm Mind. I sold the TM because I didn't really think of any use that I would have for it, and I'm sure this decision won't bite me in the butt later on. Okay, now let's do the boss rush, and first up is Erica, and we are so overleveled that it was a simple clean sweep. It probably would have been a clean sweep anyway, since Stab Psychic is just busted. After all of that, I did a bit more travelling and even got the Thunderbolt TM, before realising that we can't learn it, and I just wasted my time. Yay. I went to fight Blaine and he was quite troublesome. I didn't need burn heals, especially since this is a no item challenge. Blaine clearly skipped the intro because there was a rule where it said no items in battle, but what was the problem was his Arcanine's takedown doing massive damage to us. We can just about survive and take it out, but then the Rapidash has the easiest job in the world afterwards. I tried a few more times that ended in the same outcome, but getting some extra levels really did make the difference as we got the victory. Much like the Erica battle, Giovanni was a sweep. He really should have kept his Kangaskhan, because that was the only reason he managed to defeat me, but skipping past his last stand, we have the final rival battle before facing off against the Elite Four, and this battle was not very fun, that's for sure. Pidgeotto hits us very hard with Wing Attack, so much that we can't even cheese our way past the rest of his team like we did in Silphco. And again, we cannot learn Thunderbolt. The best we have is Shockwave, which is still decent but not as good. I just had to battle the biker gang on Cycling Road to get some levels, all who are absolutely destroyed by psychic moves, and then we went to try the battle again. It did take me a few more tries due to Pidgeot being the catalyst for failure, with really strong wing attacks and really annoying sand attacks. But we can eventually get past him, but that struggle really doesn't bode well for the Elite Four. But before then, there is a bit of Abra admin that I've got to do beforehand. First was finding some extra rare candies to use, and the next was getting the Twisted Spoon item, an item that is a 5% find on Wild Abra, and of course I got it on the first try. This item will boost our psychic moves by 10%. Sadly, we're not in Gen 4 onwards where it raises it by 20%. I just feel I had to include that little fact there because I know someone would comment, "It's actually 20% it boosts it by." And here we are before our first attempt at the Elite Four at level 70. This finale of the challenge is going to suck ass because despite dumping 140 plus defense EVs into Abra, we have 0 defense IVs, which also indicate how good a stat is going to be. So we are pretty much as bad as it gets defensively. If I had actually checked this earlier in the run, I would have probably just reset, but this makes this video 100 times harder, so please leave a like. I have a family to feed, and I've been fixated on this Abra for weeks. So let's jump right into the first battle of the Elite Four with Lorelei. Shockwave isn't the best option for this stage in the game, but it's our only option since, say it with me, we can't learn Thunderbolt. We really didn't have the best first attempt there with the whole getting paralysed thing, but some promising signs are that we did sync against her Lapras. That's something. On one attempt we tried Psychic and got a special defense drop on Lapras that meant we could actually defeat it, but her Slowbro has such a high special defense stat of its own, and it can just knock us out before we can do anything substantial to it. So in between now and level 87, yes, level 87, I can't make a damn dent in her team with any level of consistency. Either the Lapras will take us out with Body Slam, or the Slowbro will just tank our special moves and our low power physical moves will do nothing. Maybe if we had the Calm Mind TM and we could boost our special attack, maybe that would be really helpful right now. The next best thing I thought was teaching Seismic Toss from a move tutor. It's a move that does equal damage to the user's level, so it's not affected by silly things such as our really shit special attack and Slowbro's over the top defense. Also getting the TM for Hidden Power since it's going to be special based since our Hidden Power type is Fire, something super effective against that accursed Jinx. I also forgot to mention that one-shotting anything is a myth. I could have won after 500 hours of trying, but her Jinx lives on 1 HP, and I contemplate what I'm doing with my life. It takes me to level 89 to finally beat this hellish battle with this poor Abra that had been beaten down more times than I can count. Psychic on Dugong finally getting us a one-shot in this battle, and Psychic on the Lapras bringing it down to healing / Citrus Berry range. We didn't take any damage because it used Confuse Ray, and we had immense luck knocking out Cloyster in one hit, and managing to take out Slowbro with a few uses of Shockwave, and finally, knocking out the Jinx with Hidden Power Fire. Hours upon hours of battling and strategy can finally pay off. Now if we lose to any other member of the Elite Four and have to fight Lorelei again, I'm just going to stop revving my car loads so that the ice caps melt just out of spite for this horrible woman. Now it's time for the Bruno battle, and I've got a Psychic type. Even we can't mess this one up, even though I was extremely sleep deprived after battling that blasted woman until 2 in the morning. A nice change of pace from that previous hell. Agatha and her team might be super effective against us on paper, but in reality, she is a poison type trainer, not a ghost trainer. We can just click Psychic a few times and move on. But this does make me wonder, why are there so many Elite Four members with teams that just don't match up well with their type? In Kanto there's only one ghost type line in Ghastly, in Hoenn there's Glacier who just has 2 ice type lines, and Flint in Gen 4, that absolute clown of a man who is a fire type member, in a game with only 2 fire type lines. After using a max ether and hitting level 90 we're ready to fight Lance. Here's Gyarados and its Intimidate ability are no match for Shockwave. Aerodactyl could be scary since it's fast and has a really high attack stat, but we land a Shockwave that takes it into the red, but it just uses Scary Face. Oh, I'm so scared, oh look at you and your really massive jawline, oh. Our second Shockwave surpasses the previous one as we one-shot it. His Dragonite is another scary Pokemon with Hyper Beam that could one-shot us. I misclick and use Shockwave, but he luckily misses Hyper Beam altogether, so I can just use my original plan of Psychic to knock it out. Those two could have been issues, but with some good luck on our end keeps us in the game, and the last two Dragonair are just one-shots. So this is a pretty nervy time, but it's champion time. Can I finally beat this challenge and move on with my life without this Abra haunting my dreams? The rival leads a Pidgeot, and Psychic takes it out before it can use a Sand Attack, so that's a great start. He then sends in Arcanine, who hits us really hard with extreme speed, and a Psychic leaves it on a sliver before he heals up. I've got to take this thing out, and much like the Aerodactyl in the Lance battle, we knock it out next turn with a range. That's a full restore wasted at least on his end, and Blastoise is the true test that we have to get past next. And when we leave it on the red, I was expecting a bite, but it started to use Skull Bash, which uses up a charge turn, so we knock out the Blastoise pretty fast. Abra vs Alakazam is next, the father versus the son, and I didn't really know what to do since I replaced Thief with Seismic Toss, but Seismic Toss does a really good chunk to it as it sets up a Reflect to raise physical defense, which is pointless here because we have a fixed damage move. Goodbye to the Spoon Man. Rhydon has abysmal special defense, so this is a 1v1 with Executor. This is why I've got my fire type hidden power at the ready, and it one-shots. I was kind of expecting it to live, but it doesn't. And after a long and arduous journey, at level 91, I have finally beaten Pokemon Fire Red with only an Abra, despite Professor Oak being senile and thinking that Abra is still a Charmander. And breathe, I can finally be free of this tormentous run. This was never going to be an easy challenge, but the fact our IVs in defense and special attack were as low as they could be, this could possibly be the best Abra run on YouTube, and the most difficult one. But that's just me inflating my own ego. I mean, can you blame me? This video took me ages. So please leave a like and comment to justify me spending ages on this video, that would mean a lot to me. And I just about got out this video within the month. I'm very proud of myself because I did say a video a month. So I just about did it. Fantastic. I'm really happy with myself even though I procrastinated for most of the month anyway. My next videos I've got some really cool Nuzlockes planned. So hit subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can stay up to date with that. My name is Super123, hope you enjoyed and I will see you all next time.